CrossVegas, lots of grass, some beer, a spooky moon, and a very strong women's field. Obviously, one big name missing. I think she's racing road bikes or something, but that's her loss. Oddly, I've never been to CrossVegas, but they tell me the grass is stiff and energy sucking. Certainly can't dispute that based on this kinda lurchy start, with eventual hole shot winner Gabby Duran of Neon Velo staying up and out of the saddle for the entire starting straight. Never want to say the hole shot isn't important, but there aren't any serious obstacles at CrossVegas for a while, especially with this long open parade loop. Looks kind of like a road race at this point as Kona's Helen Wyman leads the field back across the line for the real start of lap 1. No real surprise then to see specialized Lululemon roadie Ali Stalker on Wyman's wheel as the field crept through the early going, rocking a bar cam again this year, still illegal I think, though I could be wrong. She'd make a gentlewoman's drift towards the back of the field as the more cyclocross-specific obstacles came into play, and unfortunately would clip the barricades towards the end of the first lap, taking down pre-race contender Georgia Gould of Luna, among others. This sort of traffic trouble might be part of why Wyman was willing to lead for so long. With the group still pretty enormous, 18 riders up this climb towards the end of the first lap, Trek's Katie Compton made a surge marked immediately by Luna's Katarina Nash, and shortly afterwards by Noosa Finest Yogurt's Meredith Miller. Despite the absurd power in this trio, the group was inexplicably slow to respond, especially with Compton making no-joke accelerations out of several corners. As the gap expanded, Luna's Catherine Pendrell, with perhaps the least noticeable national champions kit ever, dug deep to cross the gap, making the bridge dramatically on this climb towards the end of lap 2. With space to the rest of the field still expanding, it looked like a winning selection with 3 laps to go. Things became tactical in the chase on lap 3. Raleigh Clement's Caroline Moni made an effort to stretch things out, but position battles like SDG Bellwether's Amanda Nauman carrying speed around a wider line to move up here were the order of the day. In the lead group, Miller did more work on lap 3, maybe to show she wasn't struggling, maybe to keep them from saying she hadn't pulled, but it seemed to hurt her as Pendrell threw in a big acceleration over the top of the course's primary climb. But Miller didn't panic, keeping out of the red and slowly closing the gap over the remainder of the lap. Pendrell continued to be active into lap 4, trading off attacks with teammate Nash. Compton did the bulk of the responding, which left Miller to hang at the back, keeping her powder dry. Back in the bunch, Gould rallied from her early tumble, pulling Moni and Cal Giant's Rachel Lloyd clear, with Nauman just behind them in no man's land. No woman's land? The lead quartet hit the bell looking calm and focused to a rider. Nash began pushing the pace up a set of stairs and through the downhill immediately afterward, but unfortunately the speed sent teammate Pendrell sliding on a section of concrete just after. The Luna rider didn't give up, but there really was no getting back from a crash in that high a gear that late in the game. Nash applied pressure a few more times, but it became rapidly clear that this would be a position battle, Compton shutting out Miller just after an attempted stair pass, and the Noosa rider almost coming to grief trying to go inside Compton in the final bends. In the end, it was an uphill, slight headwind sprint. Nash, leading out after being in front most of the last lap, was easily passed by Compton, but Miller timed her surge to perfection, waiting for a short rise leading into the final meters to pass the national champion, and, with an emphatic celebration, deliver the shock of the season to at least one CrossVegas spectator. I'm Cosmo Catalano, and that's how the race was won.